Welcome to Citizen Lifeguard Network, CLN. My life is important and your life is important. I remain your destiny, J. Tijani. So today, we'll be talking on human rights abuse and knowing women's rights. Based on our preceding topic in the past two videos on education as a preventive measure to domestic violence. Okay? So now, what is human rights abuse? Human rights abuse is simply any harm, anything that violates human rights. Anything that violates human rights. Any action that harm people, harm community and environment. Okay, so I will narrow this down to women's rights. Women's right is human rights, and human right is women's rights. When you respect women's rights, you respect human rights. When you violate women's rights, you violate human rights. Okay, so and when we talk about women's rights, some of these rights are what? The right to free from all form of violence and discrimination. The right to enjoy higher sustainable standard of physical and mental health. The right to education, the right to vote, and the right to wage. So the question is ask yourself, have you violated any of these rights at one time or the other? You as a woman, ask yourself, has any of these rights of yours been violated by anyone? Are you even aware of this right that is being mentioned? It's important for you to know your right as a woman. It's also important for you to know your right as a man. Respect women's rights and respect men's rights. It's very, very important so that we'll have a safe society, we'll have a safe home, we'll have enjoyable society and enjoyable home, free from all kinds of violence, free from all kinds of violence. It's very, very important. The Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women supports the specific protection of women against violence. And these specifications are recognized by the executive and the judiciary arms of government, Nigeria. And the good part is that all states in Nigeria have laws that protect women. And these laws will be made known to you in this program, in our subsequent video. And violation of these laws will subject you to prosecution, will subject you to fine, will subject you to treatment. So it is important that you know these laws. As the saying goes, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. As a man, I think it's much important that you even protect your woman. You protect all women. Whether they are your wife, whether they are your mother, whether they are your sisters, be it anybody. It is your responsibility as a man to protect women. Because when you protect them, you also protect yourself. You earn more respect. It's not a good thing for you as a man to marry a wife and start victimizing her. I talk about enjoying the highest sustainable standard of physical and mental health. Some men actually victimize their wife. And we're talking about victimizing women is not until you raise your hands on them, depriving them from what they want to do, subjecting them to emotional trauma, psychological trauma is abuse. Many men don't want their women to be better than them. They don't want them to explore. They don't want them to use their ability. They don't want them to use their brain for anything. Some men sees their wife, they see their women to be a threat to them if they are making progress, which doesn't supposed to be so. Gender-based violence is a concern, is a human rights concern. It's a violation of their right to life, right to security. So it is important that you stay safe by avoiding carrying out domestic violence on your partner, because it's not business as usual. It's not business as it were. It is important that you know the right of a woman, and know the right of a woman, and respect the right of a woman, to save yourself from the law, to save yourself from being sentenced to prison. Imagine that you commit domestic violence and you are caught and you are brought to court, to a special offense court, and it happened that the presiding judge is a woman. Imagine what will happen to you. So don't you think that it is important that you actually avoid perpetrating domestic violence? Very, very important. You have to stop that. And you as a woman, speak up. When your right is being violated by anybody, speak up. Your life is more important, much more important. Don't be thinking about what your family will say, what the society will say, what your friends will say. Anybody who is asking you to keep quiet when your right is violated, avoid that person. Tell that person that your life is important. Speak up. People are available to assist you. People are available to help you. Don't kill yourself. Don't allow anybody to subject you to any form of violence. Say no to violence. Say to yourself that my rights must be respected. That my right must be respected. That my right must not be violated by anyone. That you must not be victimized by anyone. And you also tell yourself that you must not violate somebody's right. That you must not violate somebody's right. That you must not violate, that you must not victimize women. Earn respect. Men that beat up women don't earn respect. But when you respect women, you earn respect. Don't make yourself an object of laughter in the society. Don't do something that will keep you away from the society, that will subject you, that will sentence you to imprisonment, that you'll be there and be suffering. Enjoy the freedom in the society and live within the ambit of the law. Very, very important. Don't sit with people that says Nigeria is a lawless country. Nigeria is not a lawless country. Because when you commit crime, you will know that Nigeria is not a lawless country. There are people who have committed domestic violence. Some of them are in prison. Those that are known to law, those that are being brought before police, those that are being brought to court, they are still going on for trial. Some of them are being sentenced. And I believe if they come out, they will not do it again. So don't sit with people. Don't believe when they tell you that Nigeria is a lawless country. Save yourself from that. Say no to domestic violence. Because domestic violence is what? Human rights concern. And violation of this is a crime. If you are not aware, violation of this is a crime. Thank you very much. As you preach no to domestic violence in your environment, as you preach no to domestic violence in your society,